Hi guys, Josh with Talk About Trek here, and today we're going to be talking about Brent Spiner's book, Fan Fiction. So I finished this book up last night and I had a lot of fun with it. So we're going to spend a little time looking at it today, talking about it, and I'm not going to spoil anything about it because it's a mystery, so we're not going to even get into that. But we'll talk about, the things that we liked about it, and there was a lot, and let's go from there. So first off, I want to say the book just looks cool. So, they did a really good job. The cover artist did a fantastic job. And then if you take the dust jacket off, the book itself, I love the black and red. And I just love the style that they went with there. And on the inside here, they've got some really cool art as well that kind of goes, along with the story there. So, my hat's off to whoever designed the art for this book and all that, because man, they really knocked it out of the park. And I know a lot of people like to do digital books these days, but it's books like these, that are just so well done and well made that makes you just like having it up on your shelf. So, very cool. So, let me tell you a little bit about fan fiction by just reading the inside here. So, it's Los Angeles, early 90s. The explosive success of Star Trek The Next Generation has rocketed the cast to global fame. Everyone knows who they are. Life is good. But one day, while on the set, the young and impressionable actor Brent Spiner receives a mysterious package in the mail. And when he finally gets around to opening it, it sets off a deeply disturbing mystery. Soon, bizarre and terrifying letters start to follow. Brent has no choice but to enlist the help of Paramount Security. But that's not enough. This is serious. The LAPD is needed too. Even the FBI gets involved. Someone needs to put a stop to this danger before Brent's life and career end up hanging in the balance. Whoa. Featuring a cast of characters from Patrick Stewart to LeVar Burton to Trek creator Gene Roddenberry to those completely imagined, this fictional autobiography takes readers deep into the life of Brent Spiner. It tells an amazing tale about the trappings of celebrity and the fear Brent has carried with him his entire life. Fan fiction is a zany love letter to a world in which we all participate. The wonderful and terrifying phenomenon of fandom. Whoa. So that just kind of scratches the surface, and I won't get too deep into the story, but basically what you're looking at is the story starts out backstage Brent, season 4 of Star Trek The Next Generation, and he receives something in the mail, and it just kind of goes from there. And I think one of my favorite parts about this book is just getting to see those little backstage moments. And I kind of feel like that's probably one of the parts that he's really pulling, most of the truth from, where they're exaggerating more of the mystery, but this stuff is probably the stuff that's, real life, like him kind of ribbing Michael Dorn while they're getting their makeup put on, and just like the friendship between the cast, which is something that I've always felt when watching The Next Generation, and it's probably one of the reasons why this show has always been, something so special to me and so many people, just because of how these people have not only just worked together for so long, but remained friends as well, for all this time. So, getting into the story a little bit, I did take some notes. Look, I actually took notes here. So, some of the main characters involved here, of course, like I said, or like I read here, he meets up with some security officers at Paramount, some LAPD officers, but mainly it kind of kicks off when he meets the FBI person, who is named Candy Lou. So there's Candy Lou, who then introduces him to her twin sister, Cindy Lou, who's kind of like the romance interest of the book. And Cindy Lou is his bodyguard, kind of watching out over the movie, or over the course of the book there. Another thing that I liked, I guess, I enjoyed the way this book was written, kind of like short, punchy chapters reminded me of reading like the old kind of like pulp mystery novels that I used to read, And they read so like easy, and it's just fun to read through them, especially when you got nice short chapters that kind of punch and lead you to want to go to that next one, you know. And one of the things I liked about his writing is that one of the way he would kind of show you his past would always be through a dream sequence. You know, so something would happen, he'd be exhausted, he'd fall asleep, and then boom, now you're looking at like a scene from Brent's past, and something with his, you know, stepfather, which plays a big part in it. So just lots of the ways that he wrote it and the way it came together made it just read really well and just flow together. And of course made me laugh. One of the things here, one of the blurbs on the back here, of course by Jonathan Frakes, laugh out loud funny and painfully dark, filled with surprises. And that I can truly attest to, because I definitely laughed out loud quite a few times in this book. So many of the things that are just kind of come almost like right at the end of the chapter will get a laugh out of you for sure. And then of course then they'll turn it on you too, and you'll come to an end of a chapter and you get maybe a little come into your eye, you know. So it's going to pull you in both ways, and it is definitely filled with surprises. I actually got to the end and I was satisfied, and I was like, well, I would be happy if it ended just like this. And then there was like a little bit more, and it added on to it, and it was good. So, like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail and giving away the story, but what I will say is that if you are a fan of The Next Generation, you are going to like this, because this kind of gives you that little backstage look, and it also gives you kind of a different look at the fandom. And one of the things that I really liked that he said in this book about conventions and about people at conventions in particular was that the people that go there, they're not paying the money. And this is how I feel as well. We're not paying the money for an autograph and a picture. You know, we're going there when we go to meet these people. We're paying for the memory, for like to sit there and to you know, stand there for a minute and get that moment, that memory with this person that we've seen on TV and we've kind of known all our lives. And he acknowledges that in this book, and I thought that was really cool, because the time when my family and I were able to meet him, boy, that's exactly how we felt walking away. That it wasn't just a, hi, how you doing, here, let me sign my thing, thanks for watching, goodbye. He made us feel appreciated in that moment, you know, however short it was. And that, you know, that was really nice. So I really like that, and that he brought that up in the book was really cool too. So I do also want to bring up, and this doesn't really spoil anything, but I usually like to write down a quote from the book that I like. And this one came kind of right at the end, and they usually always do. The good quotes always seem to come right at the end of the books. So this is a time when he's talking about kind of facing death and facing fear. So this is something that I really liked. The only way to spit in its face is to let it inspire you to live life to the hilt. I'm going to read that again too. The only way to spit in its face is to let it inspire you to live life to the hilt. I like that. So that was good. So that was my thoughts on fan fiction by Brent Spiner. And like I said, if you're a TNG fan, pick this up. And if you're not a TNG fan, pick this up anyway. Especially if you like mystery books, because this is a lot of fun. So, as always, guys, thanks for watching. I think next week we're going to be moving on to something a little bit different, a little bit more old school, but a little bit of TNG, the Captain's Honor, going back a long way. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for writing this book, Mr. Spiner. It was fantastic. And we will see you guys next time. Live long and prosper. Bye.